Nasomatto Baraonda. Now, here is a perfume that came out a number of years ago. Of course, I've owned it for quite some time. It's been a while since I've gotten around to reviewing it because this is ultimately a fragrance that once it gets kind of hot outside, I do not find myself wearing this one. This is primarily for the colder weather, but in today's Cephalabon contributor video, I'm going to be telling you all about this fragrance, the notes, the smell, the performance, longevity comparisons. I'm also going to let you in on a very special giveaway opportunity, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on Baraonda by Nasomatto, I'm going to talk to you about the notes, the smell, performance. I'm going to break it down for you as best as I can. I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So here is a perfume that came out a number of years ago. The perfumer is Alessandro Gottieri, and this is a BOOZY fragrance. You do have the opportunity to participate and subsequently win the giveaway. All you have to do is shoot on over to cephalabon.com. It's going to be the first link down below in the description box. And after you become a registered reader, and if you've done this before, you should already be a registered reader. The only thing you have to do is drop a comment on the article. You'll be automatically entered to win. Best of luck. The only thing is make sure to check back on over to the article on the date that's mentioned in the article. That's when the winner is going to be announced. So you don't want to miss out on it, especially if you end up being selected as the winner. Whiskey, ambrette, rose, woods. It's boozy. It's a little sweet. It is not a gourmand by any stretch of the imagination. It does have a lot of spicy ingredients in here as well. And of course, spices are found in a whiskey accord. This is such a beautiful fragrance. So I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the smell, and I'm also going to let you know why I enjoyed this one so much, especially right around this time of the year, fall and winter. Let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. So as soon as this fragrance opens up, you are going to get a load of spices. It's very spicy, it's boozy. There is this sort of, I don't know if it's a clove, nutmeg type of a thing happening in here, but of course it opens up quite redolent, quite heavy-handed with the spices as well. And let me tell you something, this is a beautiful boozy scent for the fall and winter. It just so turns out that everything that Nasomatto does is geared towards the fall and winter. Duro, Pardon, Black Afghano, the list goes on and on. They manufacture fragrances that are certainly on the heavier side of things. And I shouldn't be saying they because it's a singular operation. Alessandro Gottieri is the perfumer. He's the mastermind. He is the crazy nose behind everything. And of course, the name Nasomatto, it means crazy nose. There was a documentary about him. I would highly suggest you check it out if you haven't done so. But with this particular fragrance, yes, it's very boozy. You have a hint of rose, but it's not too strongly in there. Ambrette / muskmallow. A lot of people equate it to the smell of pear. So it does kind of have like this fruity, juicy component about it too. And I would imagine that some of that sweetness is coming from the ambrette / muskmallow. And it does also come across a bit musky as well. If you've tried the ambrette offering from Le Labo, you probably have a good idea of what it smells like. In the case of this fragrance, it is very sweet, very spicy, pardon me, not so sweet. The rose doesn't have too much of an impact. And at the end of the day, it is one of the most, and I hate to say it, it's one of the most cloned fragrances out there. There have been so many brands that have put out their own version of this fragrance. And of course, with such a popular DNA such as this, and of course, Black Afghano is another one that should be mentioned in the same breath. It's really no wonder why there are so many other brands that have tried to put their own twist or spin on this particular DNA. I love this stuff. I've had the pleasure of meeting Alessandro Gottieri in person when I took a recent trip to New York. And let me tell you something, not for nothing, he is incredibly passionate. He knows what he's doing as a perfumer. He is an incredibly skilled individual. And I am a proud owner of this fragrance. And I will be wearing it quite a bit. I think I'm going to be switching back and forth between this one and Duro, which are two of my favorites right around this time of the year. Duro is more spicy leather, but this one is more booze, whiskey, so on and so forth. It's fantastic. let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is certainly a very unique fragrance. Nowadays, a lot of other brands have put out their version of the Baraonda DNA, but at the end of the day, this one is super unique, especially when it came out. Even when you try to compare it to other whiskey or cognac or boozy fragrances, this is in a league of its own. It definitely stands out. It possesses that level of uniqueness, which is really appealing. Longevity on this one, it's a Nasomatto. So you can expect 12 plus hours. It is incredibly long lasting. Everything from absinthe to China white to Hindu grass. I would say silver musk from the collection, which I don't even know if you can get anymore. That's the only one that I thought had subpar performance, especially given the concentration, which is extrait de parfum. They're concentrated at 30%. Projection, pretty good for the first hour of application. It radiated just a little bit beyond an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 7, a skin scent right around hour 11 or 12. It's all going to be contingent upon your skin chemistry, of course. In terms of the versatility, it's a bit masculine leaning, especially if you're looking at it through a more traditional lens. Great for a dressed up scenario, maybe not the most casual fragrance, and it's great for the colder months of the year. If you live in a cold climate, you can wear it all year round. If you live in a warm climate, I would wait until the winter time or when you get the most cold out there. Presentation on this one, it has a cork as a cap. The caps are really the most unique thing about Nasomatto products. But of course, even with the presentation of the box here, you have the travel cap. And I always love the attention to detail, the red and brown aesthetic. My final verdict on this fragrance is, it is one of the best boozy fragrances in existence. There is no doubt about that. Of course, you can talk about Angel Share by Kilian Paris. You can talk about Creation E by Raja Parfum. There are a lot of beautiful fragrances out there, but when it comes to booze, this one really takes the spiked cake, I suppose. I love this fragrance. If you haven't tried it, and we almost had a casualty there. If you haven't tried it, please do so. I'm going to drop all of the links down below, not affiliate links, but I do want to make it as easy as possible for you to learn about this fragrance and subsequently sample it or purchase it if it is to your liking. Thank you so much for watching. Participate in the giveaway, cephalabon.com, first link down below. Thank you again for everything. If you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. So thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.